Welcome to the one-page web builder, 5 basic steps to edit your Wix website. You've chosen Wix because it's a user-friendly platform for creating and editing one-page websites. Follow these 5 steps to make the changes to your site efficiently. So first, you need to log into your Wix account, and then you'll see a page that looks like this. It says, this shows the sites that I've started to create. And on that, you'll click and you'll say select and edit site. So you click there. As it's loading in, this will take you to your dashboard where you have a bunch of menu items on the left-hand side. What we're going to do is we're going to click on Design Site up in that corner. And then what should come up is the site that we've been working on. It takes a minute, and there we have it. This page is divided into sections, like most of the do-it-yourself web developer pages. As I scroll through here, you can see the various sections that exist. So what we're going to do is some basic editing in these sections. But before we start doing that, let's just talk about what you see on the left-hand side here in this menu board here. This is where you can add certain elements into a page. You click on that, you can see that you can add images or buttons or strips or whatever you want. In here, this will be where you can add sections. We'll talk about that later. This is the pages that exist right now in this template. Most of them you'll see have a little eye with a line through it. I've hidden all of these so that they're not part of what the people who view your site will see directly. This is basically where you can change the color themes site-wide. These are the images that I've stored in this site, and you'll be adding to this library. You'll see we'll work with images in a bit. And this is some content management stuff that you probably don't need for some time. Essentially, you can see where there's a blue line that goes around this section, and then you're going to be editing inside that section. Let's look at text editing for a second. Click in here. I've clicked and highlighted that box, that text box now. Once you get a cursor up and you can, Gordon is, I've changed the text now. And you can change the size of the text. So right now it's set at paragraph 2, but maybe I want it to be paragraph 1, and you can see that's much bigger. Or paragraph 3, that's smaller. Or I want it to be heading, which I don't because it's a body of text. But there's 3 sizes, and you can see how big it is: 22 pixels, 16, 14. So let's just leave it at 2 for right now. Over here, sharing life stories. So I click on edit, and it's heading 1. And now heading 1s are important because that's what shows up in the SEO, and this is what you want to have as a keyword. So for instance, guided autobiography, if that's your main thing, that should be the keyword. So that's what you want to have in a heading 1. You can see heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, heading 6 is that little script, and each one has a different type of text attached to it, right? And also here's the font that is being used. You can also change that to whatever text that you want for this. So that's editing of text. It's important that you actually keep this text stored somewhere else, stored like in a Word document or in your notes or someplace that you can copy and paste the basic text that you want. This will be helpful if you're building a new page and you don't have to type everything out. So you're either highlighting all of it and then you're going to paste in something new. Again, it's like a Word document. So now here's an image. So we're going to click on image and it says change image. So these are some images that I've already downloaded into the site. You can select media from Wix, which are Wix has already kind of selected and made available this type of picture. You can search for something at computer. So now I've typed woman at computer and it comes up with all these various images. Shutterstock is also a site. They're not free images, but you can see when you hover over them what the cost of getting that image is. It's relatively inexpensive. If it's the right picture, then it's worth the $4. Unsplash is essentially a free site. There are paid versions of photos in here, and that's, again, if it's the right photo for you, it's worth whatever the small fee might be. So again, let me search for woman at computer. Let's see what it comes up with. It comes up with a lot of women, not so much women at computers. Let's see if I go computer woman. Now we got a lot of shots of computers and hands and things like that. That's not bad. Those are pretty good. So if I pick that image, now you can make it bigger. I can make it fill this space. I can move it up. Now you see it starting to cross over one section to another. That can be kind of cool if you want to have things look like, you know, there isn't like a clear divider between sections. How this one kind of rolls into this one. It's not bad. But you can move those all around. And then you can also do some editing to the image, changing the brightness, changing various elements in the photo. If you want to have different looks, you can add different filters to it. Okay, so we've added that photo. And so this is how you can edit on images, where you can get them from, things that you've stored, the images that you found you might want to also keep on your computer, but they are stored in the memory in Wix. Okay, so let's talk about buttons. So how you edit those is you click on it and you'll see it says settings. Click on settings and you can see where the text is. Let's change that to work with me, say. How you create a link to it is you click there. So we're going to create an anchor link, which is so that when you click on this, it will go directly to another section of the page. And in this case here, it'll say which page. It could be one of the other pages that we don't have, but because it's a one-page site, we're going to say it's going to go down to the footer, which is where our contact is. Let's click save. Okay. So we've changed that. We've changed the design of the buttons. We've got it linked. We can change the buttons to look here. You're just hovering over these different looks for buttons. So that's working with buttons. If we want to add a button to something, then we would say add elements. and click on button. Well, let's pick this theme button. There it is right there. And we're moving that around. We're going to put that on here. And we're going to say, get your checklist here. And then the link we're going to choose is to a document. And now let's see what happened. We would click here. We want to choose the file. It's a document that I haven't loaded up here yet, but you would load a document in and then you would pick the document you wanted. In this case, we're not going to create a link for it. We're just going to leave that alone. Here, you have to probably make the button bigger to make all that text fit in properly, right? And as I said, you can move these around. You can even move that into a different section if you want. You have the freedom to put things almost wherever you want. That's really cool. Now let's talk about sections. You can see where this is where our page is. So if we want to add a new section, we're going to click that plus section, and you can either pick a designated section that we want to put here, and there's the various choices of types of sections you could put here. If you have a group of people, contact, services, all these things. So let's just put another about page here. And let's see what we want here. Let's just do this one. So see our new sections here. We're just dragging that into there. It's right here. And you add and subtract and edit just the way you've done with any section. Once you've selected a new section, now you can move it up or down, and you can also explore different layouts for the section. But here, under More Actions, is where you can delete it if you want to delete the section. Let's do that, shall we? There, it's gone. So any section you want to add or delete, you just do it that way. Here's where we're going to change the background color on particular sections. It's easy. You can also add an image. You can choose a different image for your background. Say this one. Change background. There's our house. We can fade it more into the background if we want. So you can do a lot of different things with images and color in each section. There's many different things you can do to change the look of all of the different areas of the page. So we've talked about links before, we've talked about anchor links, and you can go and see what pages here in the Pages menu. Here you can make any of these visible to a viewer, or you can hide them all. So you can actually create more pages if you want and have other things on it and only have them be linked to it, but it's not part of your one-page site, which is the idea behind it is you want to keep your viewer on this page for as long as you can for them to get the information that they need to find. And it's less pages for you to deal with. But that doesn't mean that you can't have them. It's just you won't allow your visitors to navigate to them. And the way that you make things viewable is you click on, say, those three dots, and here you can change the link, you can rename the section, you can duplicate it, you can show it in menu, or you can make it a sub-page, like a drop-down menu, or you can delete it altogether. So that's where you can address all of your various other pages if you've created them. And the last thing to look at, step 5, is to start looking at how is this going to look like in mobile. So you click over here on mobile. There's a desktop view and a mobile view, and you can scroll through here. So that's what it's going to look like on a phone. Which is, it's not bad. Now, what I want to see is if I move that button there, I'm going to change these buttons around. So I move those around in that view. Now, when I go back to this view, the desktop view, they haven't moved around. So when you change things in the mobile view, it doesn't change what's in the desktop view, which is a really good thing, because you probably have to resize a lot of these things and move things around to get it to look right on mobile. And then what you want to do is you want to go into preview mode. Here, let's click over at the top right. And now this will take you to your page, right? So let's click on one of these links that I made. Let's click on this work with me. What happens then? It will slide down to there, because that's where you want them to now connect with you. You don't want them to have to go, okay, well, where do I have to go, or go to contact? This is your let's connect part of the page. So you can create that for any part. Any button can link to any part of a page. And then you can see, oh, look at this. This text actually, if it's going to be there, needs to be a lot bigger, right? Because it's the house back there is actually, it's really quite nice, but the text is too small to really read well. So you would go in, you'd go back to editor then. Once you've tested all the links and you see that everything is working, you might want to make this into, so you click on edit text, you might want to make this paragraph 1. And at the same time, you can make it fit in that picture, right? And you can move it to where you want it to be. Now let's preview that. It's better. It's not quite right yet, but it's getting better. So now you're able to move it around so it fits exactly on the image and on the site where you want it to be. So that's pretty much a basic tutorial for Wix. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or are interested in taking part in the one-page website builder workshop, reach out to me at the links listed below, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions or point you in the right direction. Thanks.